songs. But all the ones where we all voted on those are the ones that made the album. And then we wrote 2 originals, and then another one that is a love letter to the city of New York at Christmas time was written by a dear friend of mine that we've worked with for years, Grammy Award-winning songwriter Gary Baker, who was born in upstate New York, and he wrote this song years ago. It was actually Tony Bennett had put it on hold a few years back, but never recorded it.
Wow.
And I'm like, when he sent it to me, Christmas in New York, when he sent it to me, I was like, nobody has ever recorded this. He's like, nope. I'm like, you're 100% sure. He's like, yeah, I wrote this song. And when I heard it, it's one of those songs that it almost sounds familiar, like have I heard this before? Because
Yes.
it has that classic
nostalgia, yeah.
So we put together an album
back on a Zoom. We said, hey, we got some time, like everyone else. That could be the silver lining of the pandemic. But why don't we revisit the Christmas record? And so then we jumped on a plane, went to Los Angeles, rented this recording studio, set it all up to look like the holidays. Had Christmas trees, had Yule logs, had it all like in the middle of summer. And it was just a great experience. We finally came back together. We wrote some songs together on this album, Happy Days, together. Literally, we were back together. And it just felt like we were doing something to just basically, when it comes to people out there, we knew that people were going through a hard time, and everyone was like away from one another, and the pandemic was happening. We were just writing music to feel good, and we hope that translates to the people out there too when they hear it. That it was a very important time for everyone.
A couple of us were actually writing at the same time and stuff like that, and so we actually started writing on this song. We actually, I think, have really grown into a really unique dynamic with our writing nowadays. And sometimes I think, like, AJ and Nick are really fast at, spitting out great melodies. And then, like, me and Brian and Kevin are more of, like, maybe per se, like, lyrics and the editing of, like, the finalizing. And I'll never forget when we were working on the second verse, and they were, I think, going off doing something, and I was like, oh, this might be a kind of interesting twist on the second verse.
Well, I caught that, and I loved it.
And it stayed.
Definitely sticking with
Seasons would start coming along. That was the song that was playing, and that was the song that reminded me of like, it was like, this is like, Christmas is coming, and so that was the one I really fought for in the group. Like all the other guys, I said, this is the ones like I really, really want to sing. So basically, about a couple years back, my daughter, I had this little boom box. And I put Last Christmas Wham's version on it, and she was dancing to it. And then she took her first steps, and she was literally like taking it and moving around and dancing, and it was like one of the best memories. And it was during Christmas, so I'll never forget it. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to do.
That's a nice moment. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I was going to say, in regards to the post, it was funny because we were just in LA last week. I think we're actually taping Kelly Clarkson, which will be coming out before the ABC Christmas special in a week or so from now.
Yes.
But also, I got a text from my sister. And I didn't know if it was for real or not, because my sister, first of all, I don't know how she even knows how to get on the internet, to be honest, and find stuff. She found this post, and I was like, is this legit? I started looking to see there's like a check mark, and sure enough, it was like the official George Michael estate. And I was like, I passed it on the next, and I looked at this, I'm like, it was such an honor to hear that they said that, what a great job we did and how George Michael has been so proud. And that's very flattering to hear that.
Unbelievable. Well, you do have a Christmas special coming up on ABC. It's going to be narrated by Seth Rogen.
One of the best Kevin McAllisters I've ever seen, with the actual full-on face, spot on. And then I did Nakatomi Tower from Die Hard. So, it's a little bit of a different twist on Christmas. No, let's put it to bed. Is Die Hard is a Christmas movie? It is not. Actually, it takes place technically on Christmas Eve, right? But figure by the end of the entire movie, it's got to be midnight. It's got to be. Okay, so it falls on Christmas at the end. Okay. So what about Nightmare Before Christmas? Nightmare. See, no, that's a Halloween. That's a Halloween. That's Christmas adjacent.
We're seeing a theme here now.
Yes. Okay. So yeah. Fake.
So it's a hard no for you. Brian, how many Christmas trees do you have? You have like 52 Christmas trees or something like that?
43.
43 Christmas trees.
Well, that was for one party.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't. We're kind of busy this year, so I don't know if we'll have 40, 30 this year. But we might have like 28 this year.
Great. Kevin?
The answer is fake.
Fake.
Fake with the little pine spray so that you have that like scent.
Oh my God! It's
I was gonna say, you got that pine tree thing hanging in the bathroom, you know, like maybe in the car.
Well, you guys, we have listeners here who won their way in.
Create memories together. You guys are like our second family to us. So if anything, when we're away from our families, you guys at least make us feel whole. So we want to thank you guys for that sincerely. If you would like to think of gifts, I set gifts on the side.
Where is Dawn Hudak from Hartsdale? Dawn. Oh, God. We check out Dawn's hat. That is something. All right, so Dawn wants to know, what is your craziest Christmas story?
Yeah.
Do you have one?
I mean, it's not crazy, but like I had a really epic fail with my Christmas tree last year.
That's what I was thinking of.
It was horrible. I had to call Kevin for help, you know. So we've been bringing the same tree out, but this tree is basically 20 feet tall. So it's got like stacks, and you got to stack it up. But the bulbs went out, right? And it worked for 2 years in a row, but then the third year it just kind of started failing. And so I bought like this, I went on Amazon, I tried to get this tool, we got to test it, I got the wrong one, then I bought another one, and I was testing all the light bulbs. My daughter's there going like, Daddy, can I have? I'm like, I don't know. Like, but I called Kevin, so that was a crazy Christmas story because I probably should have just thrown the damn thing away.
My oldest daughter, when she was around 4, she had seen a bunch of Christmas movies. And in some of the Christmas movies, there's a fake Santa, like so they pull the beard off. So that year, when we went to go see Santa, she tried to pull, and that did not end well. Poor Santa was like, but now she knows don't pull.
Well, now we have Erica Apio-Nagy. Are you here?
We got a chance to go and meet one of the originals at that time, and some of the best advice that he ever gave us was right here. We were walking through, we were like, yeah, we're a new band, Backstreet Boys from Orlando, and he looked at all of us in the face and he was like, just remember, gentlemen, this is the show business. And when you're putting on the show, your business is walking out the door.
Make sure your business is not walking out the door.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, quote wrong.
It's totally easy.
But that was, kind of, at that time, we were all kids. I was 18 years old when we started this. And, not really fully understanding, the pace of everything that would happen. But looking back, I think about that about every day of my life because, it is the show business. And at the end of the day, the business is the tough part about what we do. But at the end of the day, it comes down to AJ, myself, Kevin, and Howie, and Nick. Because people come and go. And it's just the strength of the core of what makes us do what we do best. Because things are going to happen, things are going to change, music is going to change, things are going to evolve. But it all falls on the relationship that we have, and we've been able to do that because of some great advice that we had in the past.
I would say probably outside of the group. Believe it or not, I have to give Brian some credit, which is very hard for me to do. I have to give Brian some credit.
It's the big one!
So Brian actually on our wedding day, and I think he's given it not only to me, I think he's given it to a couple other guys as well. It's probably been some advice that was obviously probably passed down to him. But he said to me, going into marriage, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, quote on it, but it's not going in at 50-50, you both have to go in at 100%. And I'll never forget, that was some really true, profound, advice, because a lot of times people come into a marriage thinking, well, it's 50-50, kind of thing. But if you both come in and actually with 100%, then you don't have anything to worry about.
It applies to your relationships too, though.
Oh, I mean, this is like our first marriage for sure. I have one that I now have tattooed on me. That honestly, if this helps anybody out there at any point in their life, that my sponsor actually told me, which is true victory is victory over oneself. And for me, that's been so profound with my journey, with my recovery, and with sobriety, and knowing that if I can get to a place where I know that I'm truly happy with myself, then I can be the person that I need to be for others around me and truly give my 150%. So that was tattooed on me over here. Biased or not, they're really, really good. Like, I'll toss myself out right now and say, sometimes when I'm in the studio, my pitch is not always the best. Sometimes my girls have a really good pitch. They both play piano. My oldest plays guitar. She's now writing lyrics. But both my girls can sing their little butts off. Honest to God. They emulate other artists that they're fans of, and they sound like it's crazy.
My two girls are the same way. Like, literally, they both love singing. And I know it's an old movie, and I said it a million times, but when Frozen comes on, it's like, literally, let it go. I just say, it's like for the 1,000th time in the house, that I'm hearing the song. But whenever I have this like little karaoke machine that lights up and stuff. It's like, I try to get like Odin to sing it, but he just doesn't even care about it at all. He's probably like your kids. He just wants to play video games, right? But the two girls they'll be dueling off with their 2 microphones and singing to like Disney Plus. So it's amazing.
My 2 kids, I would say my oldest one probably has a little bit of a bug. But he likes gaming too much. I don't think he'll follow through with it. He'll probably be more like a gamer and computer technology person or something like that. But he's, ever since he's been a little kid, he's always been in musicals at his school and stuff like that. Actually, he just he's 13 years old, just now went to a new school that's 7th through 12th grade. And so he's in choir. And he told me, he's like, Dad, he's like, I'm cool with being in choir. He said, but I'm the youngest one there, so he's got like, kids all the way up to like seniors. So there's like guys that are like the bass singers that are like 12th graders. And he's like, I'm with the altos. I'm like, his voice hasn't properly changed yet. I said, don't worry, it's okay. We'll make sure to do it.
I sang soprano in high school.
I got a question here from. It was a journey. I wrote to the record store at the time. I went to a used record store because I couldn't afford my new stuff. So I went and took my bike and sifted through all these different CDs, because we had CDs at the time, and Journey Frontiers, and it was Steve Perry, which was one of my favorite singers, and I remember that CD had a scratch on it, so it would skip at certain parts of it when I played it. Yeah.
For me, it was definitely Michael Jackson. I would say probably Off the Wall. Since I'm a little bit older than this guy here. Probably
Yeah, but that's hit after hit.
Yeah.
That you listen straight through.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
just like a classic.
The cool thing about mine, it was a 45. And I was so mad because my aunt's dog, her dog named Nugget, chewed it up and ate it up. But it was actually a Kool in the Gang.
I don't know to believe these stories or not.
It was Kool in the Gang, the 45. And I mean, I used to love Kool in the Gang, and then went on to do Edition. Like, Mr. Telephone Man, like all that stuff. So that was mine.
Prince.
Oh, forget it's only you only need one word. That's it. Absolutely.
Michael
My name is Prince, the one and only.
Mine is also Michael, but it was Thriller. I got the cassette tape, and my mom actually went out and bought me a red members only jacket, and she made it all sparkled up for Halloween that year. She made me the glove, all of it, and I went as Michael to it was grade school, elementary school back then. So yeah, Thriller.
I thought you would have went as Tito. Just saying. He's got the whole outfit. He went as Tito.
You guys have been on an exhausting run. You have been